Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Here's another look at that beautiful rock from Kyla. Setting things up really nicely. They're close to the win with that one. Now in the last end of the game, Team Clybrink has a draw to the button for the win.
What are you doing?
Hold on, the guys that didn't play, I just made a call. They made me way more cash than you guys ever will. If you want to destroy the sports books, come join the #1 sports investing community on the planet at InPlayLive.com.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
I am just going to make sure that everyone's working properly here. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. This is an audio test. Adam Bottcher, Brian Wiebe. Hello, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. It's Sunday afternoon. We've got some high caliber film to watch. Bottcher, Ryan Reed, why don't you start us off here, Mark? I'll make sure everything's running smoothly. I'm Rory, McCusker. I'm the operator here. I'm joined by Mike on the commentary.
Yeah, thanks for everyone that's watching this here. Got a lot of curling this weekend. Bring you systems draw on the Saville Shootout in Edmonton, Alberta. Good game here. We've got on Bottcher I'm very familiar with. This team's a little bit new to me, so I was glad that I'm able to watch hurlers that I haven't really got a chance to see much of, you know? But I think that's the kind of the beauty of curling stadium. I know the guys curling stadium just mentioned a lot of their team curling stadium curling's anywhere from, gosh, 10 to 15 rods going on at once.
Yeah, it's been a wild weekend, that's for sure. Ryan Wiebe's team I was exposed to as I covered some lawn skills in the Manitoba area. Ryan himself, was a young and up-and-coming curler at one point. I think at this point was just a regular face in the circuit in that part of the world. I don't know if that team has had the opportunity to travel as much as some, maybe not as many outside of the prairies. But I've seen them hold their own against as many top-tier teams as we have at Saville Shootout 2023. I'm here for a reason. Let me get the game sheet up.
Yeah, the team Bottchers here, they're kind of rolling through this competition so far 4-0. There's a chance to get into the playoffs here. We've just behind them 3-1, I think, in Open so far. It's been a pretty big field here. Additional information about standings and whatnot. Always go over the curling zone. We can see all the scores for this event. It's a little bit tricky because this event's kind of got that kind of a staggered style setup, where they'll have some games that are just wrapping up and just going on here. So pretty routine opening gun here. Just teams content just get on the ice and show some hits. Likely see a blank unless there's some sort of catastrophic event. So just kind of getting the feel for how the ice is running and the speed.
Well, I'm trying to get my bearings with rocks here. Mark Kennedy's last stone.
Simple nose hit.
Uh-oh.
Still
got you. Are you frozen?
The feed just froze up, but it's back. Yeah. Well, can't tell if it's back. It moved.
Well, we're probably
for a second.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Are we back? We appear to be back.
Yeah, looks so.
Saw a score hanging there. I think Wiebe scored a point.
I think Bottcher ended up scoring.
This would be fun. Bottcher score one. Bam.
Yeah, must have maybe just not rolled out on their last.
I went to the not so live replay. And I did see Bottcher scored one. So red with hammer here in the second. Looks like every rock can play as well. That's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, that's the best. Heels are boring.
Well, you and I coming off a long one last night. That one really juiced me. Couldn't make the draw this morning. I was so drained emotionally and spiritually from that game between Morozumi and
there's a lot.
Oh, who were they playing last night even?
McEwen
and Morozumi, yes.
Yep. Nice almost 3-hour game. I don't know how long that game was, but
it was 3 hours and 14 minutes. Not that I was keeping track or anything like that.
Woof.
All right. Sounds like we're looking and sounding okay. I'm gonna jump back in here and get us some angles of this messy house.
Yeah, I'm very curious here. Thanks to the quick production work here. So Bottcher is sitting shot here, but a little vulnerable right now. So I guess we're talking about kind of where's the ideal placement if you want to freeze it to really secure it, or have some sort of distance. Or
I love the look of Benny Heaves just had to show everyone he knows that it's too early for all four of them to discuss something like this. Although here we go, he's giving them their 10 seconds. Ben is skating down. Update. Ben is joining the party.
What do you think? So I guess they're worried about playing off their own red there, or kind of almost hitting that crotch here. So
sometimes curling just isn't as fun as it can be on the Nintendo Switch. With up to 4 players per console, you can enjoy curling with your friends and family anywhere, anytime. Let's play curling. Available now only on Nintendo Switch.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Hey, so dude, I'm just building out my parlay for Sunday. I'm all over the Bucks, and then we got the Panthers, the Bills, and the 49ers, all locks, but it only pays plus 229, so I'm thinking I might need to beef up that number just a little bit. Hold on, the Rams are playing on Sunday Night Football. No chance they're losing.
Oh my god, dude, you said the same thing last week and you keep losing. Don't be this clown betting on NFL parlays this season. The way the Sunday schedule is set up is that you make a parlay for the early games, you miss, and you start chasing in the afternoon games, and then the night game hits and you unload your bankroll trying to play catch up. If you're interested in making smarter decisions on the NFL this season, I'm putting on some free training right now where I give away my top 5 secrets on how to profit on live sports investing.
We are back, Mark. Oh, there you go.
I was gonna say, I think we're back. Hopefully we're back. My name is Mark No, joined on commentary by Rory McCusker. And for those that have been kind of watching this on the YouTube feed, I appreciate you guys hanging around here. Somehow we still have 74 people watching on the curling YouTube page as we work through some of the technical difficulties, but when you got a very, very small group of people trying to bring half a dozen games to you on YouTube, it takes a little bit of work. So appreciate everyone's patience.
Yeah, I remember when we first started this 2 years ago, like it just kept on cleaning up one or two errors, and before you know it, you got like hundreds of SOPs and just ways to deal with the various challenges that come with this type of high bandwidth, high volume streaming. But yeah, we just keep learning. We keep learning more and more every event. And yeah, like the good thing about this era that we're experiencing, these eras have many flavors, but this one right now, when we're back, we're back. So that's a good one. I like that better than a bunch of glitches throughout the stream. So we are back, which means we are back for now. And if it totally conks out again, it'll probably be out for a few minutes, just like last time. That's the attitude of the day that we got on the live stream software here today.
Yep.
I think we missed a good end.
We did. There were a lot of rocks in play. I think, for those that were kind of watching, as we saw, everyone was just kind of waiting, trying to set up angles, put their rocks in favorable locations, and hoping the other team is, going to make a move and kind of blast one down the middle. And I don't think we got that result. I think it ended up just being that kind of maybe that one single that we had, unless they picked up they may have stolen, in that end. Did they get a single?
We've got 2. Or is it a single? Or is it? Are we doing baseball scores? Oh, these baseball scores get me, man.
You know, I say I like it. I'm just used to the baseball scores. In fact, I was teaching a learn to curl yesterday here in Oklahoma, and that's how we kind of explained it. You know, it's a little bit easier to explain it at a learn to curl events than saying, hey, it's just like scoreboards, like backwards baseball.
Yeah, see, the reason I like the traditional scoreboard is because it's a better visualization of how many points you were up or down. It's easy to just glance at the scoreboard and remind yourself, okay, 2 points down right now. Otherwise, every time, like if you're like me and you like to forget the score all the time, it's a great trait in any competitive curling team. It's just easier to see if I'm tied up or down.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
All right, we're gonna see some weight here. Don't know if the call is for this kind of angled run here. It looks like we're just gonna cross center actually, so ends up hitting on the low side and rolling towards the center. Probably wasn't sure what the call was, but I can't think it was hitting on that side of the rock.
With Bottcher having positioning on the top of that stone in the forefoot, you got to think they're trying to make contact with that, especially with the full sweep end to end.
Yeah. So if you're Team Wiebe here, you just got a little bit of a break here. What's the ideal placement of this rock here? Just somewhere kind of just to the right side of center, maybe top 8 or so?
I'm not positive about the ideal placement, but where I think that they're trying to put this seems like ice for a tap. Like that does not seem like enough ice to get around these guards. I have not covered sheet 9 yet this weekend, but it's been pretty significant curl everywhere on the ice.
Sheet 9? How big is this facility?
I think 10. I think
10.
there's 10
Oof.
sheets.
Lord.
It's a great place for curling. Saville Center, Saville Community Sports Complex in Edmonton, Alberta. University of Alberta. And yeah, it seems like Edmonton is a city that loves their giant complexes. Known for the West Edmonton Mall. They got all sorts of big sports and medical sports science massive buildings. Saskatchewan kid myself. I guess everything in Edmonton looks big to me.
Oh, nice. All right. Now with that roll towards the center on the kind of last peel attempt, looks like they're just going to have to try to open up the center here. Hopefully catch some of that red on the way, and
that's beauty.
Does open it up. A little unlucky with the leave, but
well, that overlap is gone. Those rocks are now, one more rip and they go away completely.
Yeah. It's definitely better than it was a rock ago. So taking just a hair more ice and looking to throw some more junk up here. Sweeper's back off of this here. Now going on a little bit once it's passing the hog line. Just kind of escorting it down, guarding the high side. That's well done.
The frozen rock in the top 8, really valuable as a run back. If there was a run back, that one's probably sticking around.
Yeah.
So Wiebe's got some insurance here. Not only do they have shot rock in the top of the button, they have another quite good stone, top 8 foot. That's going to be tough to remove. And remove they will. This will be a fight to the finish for Team Bottcher to get their skip a crack at scoring 1. Multiple score end is not the focus right now. Get things back to a state where they can realistically get a point on the board this end.
Yeah.
Is more the goal. Ooh.
Pretty good.
Oh, very good. That was close to getting another rock moving. That almost clipped the rock on the center line, the shot stone. That would have been remarkable.
All right, so another guard here, and we'll see likely another double peel attempt. Now for this here, does it have to cover with it a little bit more open now? Are we still guarding the one on the top 8, or are we more guarding the one on the center line that's kind of top 4?
It's kind of this. It's a good question. I think you're kind of guarding the entire pile.
Yeah.
You know that whatever you throw in front is going to be used by Team Bottcher.
True. Yeah.
But good point. I guess if you toss that a little bit outside, gave Bottcher a crack at that shot stone just to rip one through the hole and see if they can just peel it out. Maybe that was a consideration. Yeah. When I'm in this situation, this stealing situation, we have shot rock, we have a bit of a good setup in the top of the rings, and we have a center guard. It's kind of just a waiting game, seeing if your opponent's ever going to really get that run back. There's not much you can do until then. You have to force your opponent to keep addressing things higher and higher in the zone of play. It's just about giving your sweepers a rock they can work with and leave in a good spot in front of the rings.
So with the distance here, I don't know if you can get to it with enough weight to push the shot stone back forward. So we're looking, well, that kind of ice, it looks like to me they are looking to tap it.
Yeah. 3 rocks remaining, right? Got to make something happen. They're blowing a hole through my entire tactical explanation I just gave earlier.
Oh yeah.
I forgive them for that.
That's fair.
That's how we learn, hey? These
Ooh.
watching these top teams play, that's how you learn all your skips, kind of instincts and tips and tricks. So they do make a play on the pile, advance things 1 rock further. Now it is yellow whose shot. But I think it's a situation where, with some weight, both yellows leave the rings if this pile is contacted.
Yeah.
Will Ryan Wiebe be tempted into lowering his weight a little bit, try to get nose-on-nose positioning, or will he just blast it with big weight, make sure he gets rid of those 2 Bottcher stones? I think got to think that's the priority.
Yeah, you would think so, especially since they kind of have that one that's kind of hanging around on the back 8 foot, right? So even if they somehow spill all 3, I don't know if that red ever goes, but worth the toss here.
Worth a try. Okay, easier hit weight. I was expecting that to have more steam. Big sweep to get it by. They do. 1 yellow goes. 2nd yellow rolls. Did they get shot 3?
I think there's, shot 3 here. Wow. It's a big time shot.
It was. So that was the question we had. How much of a priority was getting rid of that top yellow one? And, that is a full sweep end to end. There's as little weight as he could have possibly thrown to get the yellow out of the troublesome area. I think they threw just enough weight to make that work. That was a ballsy call. Really well executed. I don't think there's a triple on the Reds.
No.
There might be. Maybe across the face on the top one.
I guess at this point here, if you're Bottcher, right, is it more important to try to get one in the ring so you can still? I mean, it's tough to get a deuce, right? The other calls what, this like intern draw tap, but that's scary.
Going through the hole.
Yeah, through the hole, yeah.
Yeah, not sure if it's there with weight to remove a stone. That's what it seems like Brett's pointing that out, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, earlier they when they had those kind of shots wired, they were able to make that tap, quiet way tap, and get it to move out. So I think if they can get it through there, I think they'll be able to get it out. Now, question
Yeah,
is,
I think they're looking at this run back, and I agree with that because you're going to get the same result, and even if you aren't perfect with it, you're clearing up that intern path for your next one.
yeah.
Wiebe can't. Ryan's not going to be able to take away both an intern draw and occupy the 4 foot if that's what he wants to do. So you're going to have an intern shot no matter what if you get rid of this guard right now.
First rock for Brendan Bottcher here. This one's gonna have to hold it for line. Does make the run and
Spins off.
Spins off. Tries to come back at the end there, but I think they are sitting third and fourth now.
Yeah, almost stuck around for shot rock, and I guess that would have forced Team Wiebe to address it, leaving the rings open for Brendan to score as one. Now, shot two, Ryan might be able to get a little more specific with where he puts his next stone, try to tuck it in a nicer spot, make sure there's no triple, and force Brendan to a tighter circle to draw to. And yeah, looks like they'll use the center guard, try to put one on the side of the button. Now it's got to consider who you're playing. If he leaves a triple, is that something that Bottcher will take on? So if they get too caught up in putting this right close to the button, you just want to make sure you're not creating a natural angle for a triple.
Yeah.
If they curl as much as they intend to, I don't think that there'll be a chance to hit this top red as thick as they need it to make a triple.
Final rock here. Just looking again, the 4 foot buried. Taking plenty of ice here. Although that guard is coming up awfully quick here.
Is it ever? Is it ever? That really went sideways. And he had a lot of rotation. I wonder if that picked something up. They were on it right away, though.
Yeah. Does roll to an okay spot, but
Ticks the guard over and prevents a double. That's a major win.
Yeah.
Because that would be a double for 2 or 3 if that guard was not moved. Like if Ryan just comes up light there, straight up light, and still leaves access to that red in the top 12, I think we may have seen Brendan take on a double.
Take on a double, yeah. Well, Brendan and Mark taking a look at the rocks, but I think they're just gonna maybe not sure, and instead of taking the draw, just come to this. Well, they have to come to this back one anyways.
If you think you might be second shot, why not tap this Wiebe stone back a little bit, throw a stick on it, see if you got 2.
Yep, exactly. Gonna take. Yeah, and you have to go this super wide intern side, yeah. Just because of the little stagger there.
I mean, it's probably the easiest path into the rings, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way. This is it. Final rock, third end.
Benny going a little bit early, just cleaning. A little bit more pressure now. Starting to dig. It's coming up a little bit, but should be able to clear the guard. Now it just needs to come down and settle in here. It's coming down nicely.
I guess they're just trying to use that weave stone for backing.
Backing.
Didn't necessarily want to move it. I probably should have used it.
Yeah.
I think that's a tap for one. They're kicking the stones off.
Yep.
1 point, Team Bottcher. A couple mistakes there. We'll see how the teams bounce back in the fourth end when we return.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Oh. All right, we are back. My name is Mark Ngo, joined on commentary by Rory McCusker. We've got a good game here so far between Brendan Bottcher and Ryan Wiebe.
Yeah, we missed some pretty messy ends in the first two ends, a little bit of technical difficulties, but that was a clean end. We got through it. I think that's some good juju for the future.
Team Bottcher coming into this game 4-0 so far in pool play, where Team Wiebe is at 3-1 in this pretty big field here. And we got 4 pools, right? Does that sound right?
I'm actually not sure.
Well, let me head on over to Curling Zone to see if I can figure this out.
There you go. Good idea. You had mentioned it earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, 3 pools. But yeah, no, go ahead.
You had mentioned earlier these teams coming to this competition, this game. Brendan Bottcher 4-0 so far. Bottcher started the competition against Wiebe from Alberta. Won that game 7-2. Then Liebes from Alberta won that game 7-1. Played Catlin Schneider, team out of BC. Won that game 7-4. Went on to play Team Webb from Alberta. 9-3 that victory. So not a lot of 1-point games, let's say that, for Team Bottcher heading into this one.
Yeah, you got to figure this Bottcher lineup's just gonna be a favorite in just about any event. I definitely like this this lineup for the team here. Just pretty strong at all positions here.
Gaining more chemistry, getting to know each other a little bit more. One more season in, we are going to see some battles involving this team all season long.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So got some rocks in play here, just all along the center team. We're not going for a corner guard at all here in an even end, just content to try to kind of wrap it around and go ahead and come inside. So I'm not I mean, I like, for me personally, I always like just coming around, top 8 behind that center guard, but interesting to see it at this level.
Every end we've had these precision tap freeze shots called and made. Very entertaining. And you know what? Each end I think that we're going to see a high hard one just clear this all up. But both teams content to jockey for positioning in the house for a very long time, right until Skip Stones. We've seen just continual taps, freezes, positioning, trying to set something up. So in the last few shots at the end, they can make a big weight shot, create a situation that they want, but we just haven't seen it really pan out for either team yet.
Yeah. And I think here you're okay if you get rid of that center guard here. So you can afford to play it just a hair tight. This one will definitely clear the center guard here and having to go to curl.
That is a huge advantage of battling down the center line. When you have hammer, you can miss inside and tick that center guard off, no problem. I mean, of course, once the no-tick rule and free guard zone have passed, but when you don't have hammer, it's kind of ironic. You're trying to draw play to the middle, yet your punishment for missing down the middle is so much higher. Ticking your own center guard off is an end killer for the team without hammer. You do it once, you're toast. It feels like, anyway.
Yeah. Good result there. Ends up making contact and jostling around. I think they're sitting shot 3rd and 4th here. Although Bottcher with a pretty good angle for a double here.
It's 1 and 2 and the perfect roll. Still spinning. I shouldn't say perfect yet. Oh, geez Louise.
Brooms go up. Pretty happy with that.
Primary goal made the double. That rock had a lot of momentum spinning upwards into the rings. Seemed like forever. That rock just rolled up and up and up and up away from the button. Pretty lucky with how it's sat frozen right on their other stone in the 8-foot. That's going to be tough to get rid of. Ryan calls for peel weight on the high side. Let's see what kind of damage they can do. This looks pretty nose. That had a ton of weight and could barely kick the rock more than 3 or 4 feet. So that makes me think that rock wasn't going anywhere. Maybe they just needed to hit it higher or further on the outside.
I was going to say, a little bit higher. I think they just kind of almost pretty much nutted that shot. And now there, if you're Bottcher here, are you just wanting nose, or are you wanting to flop a little bit towards the inside on this hit?
Sorry, this is why I rely on you so much. I'm back and forth trying to make sure our stream is looking good and sounding good and everything. Sometimes I miss a few things.
So it looks like he's calling for a quiet weight hit for Vice Mark Kennedy. I think ideally they want to get a hair low side, and it's coming in nicely. Heaps on it for the late sweep here. It's going to get to just into the low side and rolls underneath.
How good do you get?
I mean,
such confidence in the throw, call, and sweep to brush by their own stone like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that it's just routine, right? No panic at all, with the sweepers or the skip or the thrower, just that easy hit on the low side and
just the baseline degree of precision for Mark Kennedy just amazes me. It's like a miss for him is measured in millimeters.
Taking a shot at clearing some stuff on the front here. If they can go
1, 2, 3 yellows move, 2 yellows leave the rings, but the angles down the middle still favor Team Bottcher, without a doubt. It's kind of it's like that situation we were talking about in the previous end. I forget if that was N3 or N4 mark or N2 mark, but
yeah,
where Team Wiebe was guarding their shot stone over and over again. It was N3. They had a rock in good position in the front of the rings. They had a rock near the button that was shot, and they had a guard up front. It's kind of you achieved your 3 goals of stealing a point. A high guard, something to block a soft weight shot, and you're, of course, the counting stone on the button itself. So Team Bottcher is 1 rock away from having all 3 of those with a guard here from Mark Kennedy.
Yep, just switching gears here and seeing if looking for this is like a simple 2 guard here. We say simple, but always trying to go on it a little bit here. Just a bit of a heavy clean between front end, Mr. Gallant and Heaps. This will settle in just nicely and does straddle the center line.
They could have dropped that rock there with their hands, and it would have looked pretty much like that. This way, if the run back occurs, the shooter of Team Wiebe will be somewhere within that 4-foot line. They're going to have to sacrifice that. There's no way to make a run back and spin your shooter off now that those rocks are so perfectly lined up. That's the reward of making that guard in such a precise way. Yeah, you could just toss one up there and know that the opponent's going to have to deal with it, but to put it right on the center line like that gets just a few extra rewards in the difficulty you've created for your opponent.
Yep. They are. Looks like they're just trying to pick out the one the top 8 foot and maybe roll around to the side.
And you know what we saw the exact same thing in the third end with opposite teams. They ignored the guard on the third's final stone. It's 1. Almost gets that second
really
yellow moving.
Close to getting it.
Yeah. I was wondering if they got that one as thick as possible. Would it blow by or not? And I guess we know the answer. It did. A little bit of risk here for Team Bottcher. Yeah, a little bit of risk here for Team Bottcher.
Spot here because they just made that shot. They can throw basically almost the same shot down the middle, or they can come off the side here.
Just the math getting a little scary for Bottcher. Now there's 2 rocks in the rings, and all of a sudden it goes from let's rock this center line dance to they're piling up stones in the house.
Yeah, it's interesting, like Kennedy makes a perfect guard. Then Team Wiebe is able to make a wonderful kind of hit and roll to the side. And then if you're Bottcher, you got to be a little worried here. You want to roll towards it, but you can't really poke it out the other side or make the double easier for them.
Yeah, with some good weight, I think this roll's pretty flat. You can kick your Yellowstone a little bit as long as your shooter ends up close to the center line. Just edge to edge is probably going to do the trick. That is certainly ice for a flat roll.
First to skips rocks here for Brendan Bottcher.
Looks a little thin. They knock their own. Hey, there's no easy double. Decently successful, I'd say. I think that's a little thinner than they wanted, but I never know. Every time I get this instinct like, oh, that's thinner than they wanted, that's thicker than they wanted.
Yeah.
I rewatch the shot or I talk to the curlers later. That's exactly what they want most of the time. You almost got to assume that even if something's a little confusing to you, these curlers are at the forefront of tactical thinking about the game. They're playing every opponent a little bit differently. They know exactly what they're trying to tempt their opponent to do. So sometimes it seems not perfect, but that may have been exactly what they were going for.
Yeah, because if you're Team Wiebe here, like, yeah, I mean, I think at first they were thinking hitting off the one that's side 4, but then Bottcher just has a short angle run on the other side. Yeah, if you hit off the one on the left-hand side or the intern side from the thrower, you're not shot. So good leave for Brendan Bottcher. Definitely not the simplest shot in the world, but it looks like they're gonna make a play on this one on the intern side here.
Yeah, not surprised by this, but I was wondering. There was an option on either rock. Hitting and rolling behind cover, I guess, is the primary objective, and this one that they are hitting could be promoted by Team Bottcher on the next rocks, whereas the other one on the side of the 4-foot cannot be. So I guess this is the more valuable target. Wonder what weight we'll see. I've seen a lot of curl snapping with soft weight hits, especially on the 4-foot line, to the point where they could even get a bit of a roll inside.
Yeah, I think this is pretty similar to the line they threw just a few shots ago. So different thrower, and we'll see. This appears to be a little bit up in terms of weight, I think.
Yeah, just got her on the wrong side. Rolls off a little bit, makes things easier for Bottcher to repeat that shot. Yeah, just never got quite got the curl.
So a little bit more space for Brendan to operate, but looking to get, I guess, a similar flop under, or do you want to roll even more where you're almost edge to edge to your yellow?
Yeah, at this point, there's going to be a draw to the 4-foot no matter what.
Yeah.
So there's two ways to think about it. You could overroll and kind of Christmas tree and force your opponent to draw without backing on the intern side. Or you could just roll edge to edge and take away the intern side, force your opponent to throw out turn. I'm interested to see what they do, what they choose. Always good to learn from the decisions that these pros make. That looks pretty outside as well, doesn't it?
Yep, it does. Gonna have to sweep it.
Oh, wrong cam.
Just a little bit high side and flops out towards, but
hey,
takes away the drop path.
If the idea was to take away the intern side, I think they did that.
Yeah.
Last rock at the end. Bit more of a kind of tit for tat sort of trading end this time instead of jockeying for positioning. You saw the teams kind of attempt the same shots over and over again, sort of not make them perfectly, leave the other one the opportunity, not make that perfectly, leave the other one the opportunity. So a lot of different kind of styles of end that we've seen in this game so far already. Really interesting to see how things progress here.
Yeah. Final rock for Ryan Wiebe, looking for just maybe just a quiet tap here. Playing the outturn side, so this one's curling quite a bit, but should be just nice. Hit little flop towards the center. So Team Wiebe will get their single here. So all tied up after 4. Brendan Bottcher will have hammer, and we'll have 5th end for you just after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
This is where the focus comes into play. Look at that.
Canada, say hello to your new champions.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Do you ever miss your parlays by just one pick? How about losing your over-unders or your spreads by only a point? Well, if you're ready to ditch the gambling and go legit, it's time to join In Play Live. We're the world's #1 live sports investing platform, all built around our live video streaming. So you can wager in real time with our 7-figure professionals and take what they're taking when they're taking it. Now, the platform also includes our masterclass suite of videos that include both the strategies and philosophies to succeed. Our next rocket ship is launching off to space right now, and you're just one click away from being on your first live stream with our team of pros. So make the transformation today. Go from amateur gambler to sports value analyst. We'll see you on the moon.
All right, Mark, we are back and we're catching the very first rock of the 5th end. And you want to know why? Because the 4th end break is back in men's curling. It took a 10-year hiatus, but man, I'm seeing it again. Teams are taking their 5 minutes. They're gathering. They're perhaps having a little snack, refilling their powdered athletic beverage of choice. It's back. I can't decide if I like it or not, but it's definitely noticeably back.
I don't hate it. I mean, I think it's, I like having the break, for refill of beverages or taking your penalty shots if you hogged a rock earlier.
There you go. There's a purpose. I definitely was not a fan of the 6 to 10 minute sit in a circle, eat a cheese plate, and talk to the coach for a big long. That was never my jam. But maybe this 3 or 4 minute break, I think I could get behind.
Yeah, very reasonable.
Yes, agreed. Well, we start things off here with the center guard and a draw around. It's a tie game. Team Bottcher has hammer once again. Two teams kind of not playing conservatively, I would say, but definitely being aware of risk, not mixing up things to the point where they're allowing the opponent to have much of an advantage. both teams are either peeling guards or making a play to get a shot rock in position. You're just not seeing a lot of risk taking so far, but in the back half of this game, that might change.
Yeah, definitely. They're not afraid to take on some of the more delicate shots, but we've definitely seen a few of these ends where they're bailing when they need to, and start moving some stuff around. And when you have hitters that can make double peels somewhat routinely, or even making those peels with a little bit of tolerance you spin into the rings, it makes a big difference.
What I've noticed in this early season competition so far is, especially on the men's side, you were mid-season last year, you were seeing teams at second and third just throwing run back after run back after run back, even with pretty clean ends. Because I'm starting to think it's because they're in practice. And I think early season here, teams with hammer are playing to the middle a little bit. It's like we're not seeing a corner guard here. We're seeing your kind of traditional make the freezes up the chain until the 5-rock rule is expired. It's not conservative curling, but it's definitely risk adverse curling, and it's keeping the shots more direct, more simple, more obvious.
Yeah. I think of a lot of the curling that I've kind of watched. I have not seen too many, corners being used, and the risking those, corner run-ins and things like that. Yeah, it just seems to be just kind of setting up your angles in the house, and then until someone kind of flinches. And it appears to be setting up the same way this end here, where we've got pretty much 4 or 5 rocks touching the center line. This will be rock number 5 that's in there, unless it bounces. It does appear to rub that rock, but still kind of settles there. Center line. Nice overhead cam work can show. Did maybe push that one just off the center line, but for all intents and purposes, pretty grouped up here.
Yeah, we've seen this before, haven't we? This game, centerline guard, and then a stack of rocks piling up in the 4-foot, 8-foot, and 12-foot. But we haven't seen the blow up on the 6th rock, and we're not going to see it again this end. We're going to see another tap shot. Team Bottcher shot rocks 1 and 2, so I guess they're satisfied with how things have shaped up here.
Yeah, we'll see. Just Gallant just kind of throw something, maybe tight guard, or doesn't mind top 12 here. Ideally doesn't want to jostle anything around here.
No, the way that those red rocks are overlapped is very preferable. Wonder if they're going clean around.
Heavy going around now. Plan B. Yep.
Looks like it.
It's starting to walk over a little bit here, and
seems like they got caught in between there, Mark, didn't it?
Yeah, that's all. I was just about to say that. A little in between. I think Mark realized it was a bit heavy, but they didn't jump it right away. I think you might have been able to get that.
Still not looking great for Team Wiebe. How do you move any of those 3 stones with any kind of force they're going to make a difference on the Bottcher stones on the button and the 8-foot? I don't think any of those red rocks are able to be punched back with any kind of speed.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're almost going to have to play something across the face of that last Team Bottcher stone that was thrown, and
I mean the
yellow's
not a
threat.
threat. Yellow's not a threat yet, is it? I mean, I just think you're 2 shots away. You got to jostle those around before you're going to send any of them back. You got to think the objective for Team Wiebe at some point is to open up a shot where you're going to be able to double off those 2 yellows, at least make contact with the one in the top 8. So yeah, kind of taking their medicine. We will see Ryan Wiebe put his broom down for a run back. Be interesting to see where they want to contact here.
Just
not a ton of weight either, Mark.
Sweeper's on it early, wanting to hold it up and maybe catch the high side. Does get a shade low, and the possibly worst outcome.
That is a speechless miss right there. The angles were not good.
Yeah.
I think they got unlucky with where they hit it, but yeah, just let go a little soft and inside. That curled right away. That's looking pretty ugly for the team without hammer.
Yeah, Brendan Bottcher sitting 3 in the rings, 2 kind of staggered on the center line, and Just, I guess you're just guarding here, yeah? Guarding the center line.
Almost an embarrassment of riches at this point for Team Bottcher. What do I even do with a situation this good? Is what they might be thinking to themselves right now.
Oh, they're going to just draw to the wings? Yeah, I think it looks like maybe they're splitting the rings here and just...
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
recognizing the new face of the end. Things look quite different now than they did before that shot. So Brennan kind of just taking that in. All right, look what I got now. I have a corner guard and I have a bunch of rocks in the rings that they'll have to address. So splitting the rings, like you said, occupying the open area of the house. This is pretty much just giving Team Wiebe the double takeout down the middle. But at this point in the end, I'm thinking Team Bottcher doesn't want to throw a center guard in case things flip around on them. Smartest thing to do right now, put a rock that's not easily doubleable in a good spot on the wing. Try to turn this into a corner guard looking end.
Yep. Just put
no
that
triple
right on the tee line. Very, very nice. We'll see this this double attempt down the middle, and while they're lining that up, we'll just take a quick peek at some of the other games going on. Quick peek at curling zone here. You can see that in the other event, the championship final between the two Scottish rinks, Team Mount and Team Ross White, and a low scoring affair. Mount up 3-1, playing in the 7th end here. And we got a bunch of draws in the Saville Shootout here. Sluchinski up 3-2 over Team Sturmey in the 6th end. Team Ryan Champ up 2-1 over Morizumi. Morizumi may be feeling the hangovers of last night's epic game. Team Webb up 5-2 over Whip. Schneider up 8-3 over Team, I think that's Libus in the 6th. McEwen got it done early, winning 6-1 over Yanagasawa. Team Ryan Jock up 3-1 over Team Tau. Then we've got Team Adams up 4-3 over Kleinbrick in the 5th. And then the other draw that we've got, other game we've got is Team Parent up 7-0 over Team Davies, friend of the team with Curling Zone. So a lot of draws going on. And in case you're interested in keeping up with that, or in case I talk too quickly, you can head over to Curling Zone to check it out. We will be having an additional broadcast, a few more broadcasts later today. I think I'll be on the team later tonight, or a game later tonight between Fujisawa and Team Caitlin Laws. That'll be kicking off at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So if you haven't had enough curling this weekend, want to catch another one, I'll be around for that. So Team Wiebe does get a hit and just rolls just under that Bottcher stone that's sitting on the kind of top 12 foot. Looks like they're just going to have Mark try to dig it out and kind of just roll over to the wings there.
Yes, to the delight of the audience, I was muted for the last 2.5 minutes. So very good breakdown of the lay of the land there, Mark. That was every weekend is curling weekend.
There's so much going on. Yeah, I mean it's always a long summer without curling, and then when it comes on, and it's just getting coverage for these events is just, man, it's a lot, but it's good. Mark,
yeah,
oh, good.
Probably one of the most underrated parts of curling, of competitive curling at this level, is how long the season really is and how many competitions these teams really do take part in. You hear people talk about baseball and how long that season is and how many games they have. Like when you look at the amount of games the curling team plays, it's depending on how much they're going, it's at least 50, 60, sometimes even higher.
Oh yeah.
These are long, demanding, labor-intensive weekends, especially if you're a team sort of fighting for your identity and your positioning amongst the top tier, where you're going up and down, winning, losing. You end up playing a lot more in those triple knockout formats and those pyramid bracket formats. It's a lot of games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's 7 games to maybe win this event. I'll have to take a look at the playoff bracket at Curling Zone, but you know, I've been fortunate where I've played a tournament, won 4 games, and that's it. You know, you go home afterwards.
On the good days, that's how it works. All right, fighting back here. Team Wiebe makes it yet another double. This is the decision that Team Bottcher made when they decided, hey, we're going to concede that double down the middle. We'll try to open the house, make sure that we're lying 2 or 3. And, you know, gave Ryan Wiebe a chance to make a few doubles, get some rocks moving. And, yeah, now things are looking good for a deuce for Team Bottcher. But definitely a decision was made earlier in the end. Hey, we don't want to risk it all for 3 or 4. Let's just make sure we manage the end, make sure we keep the middle clear, fight for a chance for a multiple score end. And they have it. But now you've got to address a Wiebe stone on the open side, roll it 6 feet behind cover, perhaps giving up an opportunity to freeze or play a tap.
Yeah, and I think they were initially just thinking about just drawing under there. They're one of the top 12 there. You know, because I think it's a question of where do you roll to, and you know, if they ever hit, if you don't roll far enough, do they have a hit and roll underneath the cover? Or if you roll out, you know, that would, you know, then you're digging it out and you kind of lost your juice here. So we'll see. But it looks like they are going to try to make this hit and big roll here. Thanks to Mark Kennedy for tapping and explaining to us out there.
Exactly. I always appreciate that.
Now, for a shot like this, do you have a preference of playing it this way, where you're kind of going across the face, rather than going into it?
I think so. You usually see this outside in kind of motion, keeps it flatter on the roll.
First rock for Brennan Bottcher here. Look, we're hitting big roll here. Having to go a little bit to try to get to curl. Does make the hit and
Oh, is that any
roll.
good?
Jeez.
Totally buried.
I mean, it brings in a double, but you got to think if you're Team Bottcher, that's where you would have walked it down.
I guess if you leave it just a little bit closer to the, like a little bit more of the 4 foot, it might make the double too close to the guard to take on.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah.
But at the same time, you leave it open to a tap or a freeze much more easier. I mean, if you really wanted to freeze out the end and force Brendan Bottcher, you could play a freeze right now, get shot rock. It's just very demanding, and geez, if that goes wrong, you might give up 3.
3, yeah.
So as long as they can make this double, it's the 5th end. It's not a must force kind of end. Would have been nice, but as long as the double's available, I think they'll want to take it on.
Last rock for Ryan Wiebe. Outturn double attempt here. Sweeper's on it early, out of hand here. Looks, and switching up, looks like he'll be make contact, but gets it just, I think hit it just a hair thin on the high side.
That makes me think it was a bit of a nervous sweep, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
overswept it, gunned it the whole way. At that kind of weight, sweeping's not going to make that much of a difference anyway.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier when there was a shot, you know, from Team Bottcher, and again, no panic on. They had it was much lower weight, but no panic on the quiet. But that one did seem, I don't know. Again, you know, probably couldn't do too much at that weight, but didn't help it for sure. So Brendan Bottcher with just a draw to paint to get the first deuce of the game. And Benny's kind of on it, making him work for it. Just escorting it. It's never heavy. Should be just fine. Does end up getting to just touch the button, and we get the first deuce of the game. Team Ryan Wiebe will be down 2. They'll have the hammer, and the even ends coming home here, possibly. So we'll have the 6th end for you just after this break.
Here's another look at that beautiful rock from Kyler. Setting things up really nicely. They're close to the win with that one. Now in the last end of the game, Team Clybrink has a draw to the button for the win.
What are you doing?
Hold on, the guys that didn't play, I just made a call. They paid me way more cash than you guys ever will. If you want to destroy the sports books, come join the #1 sports investing community on the planet at inplaylive.com.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Sometimes curling just isn't as fun as it can be on the Nintendo Switch. With up to 4 players per console, you can enjoy curling with your friends and family anywhere, anytime. Let's play curling. Available now only on Nintendo Switch.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks to the people that are joining us. Almost got 300 people in the Curling Zone YouTube page. My name is Marco, joined on commentary by Rory, McCusker. We got a good game here.
It's been a little different every end, is how I would categorize this game. A little bit different every end, and we've seen Team Bottcher with this identity of this competition never getting tempted into taking too much risk to get a big end. So Team Bottcher Brendan Bottcher throughout his career has been an excellent skip with hammer. Some years by and away the best men's team in the world with hammer. But we haven't seen them kind of scoring their trademark threes over and over again here. It's been more of a patient game, and it's paid off with dominant wins all 4 of their first games. This, so far, still opportunity to blow it open. They've only allowed 2 points to Team Wiebe. But so far, their closest game.
Yeah. We've seen a little bit of a different opening to this end. You know, we've seen a lot of teams with hammer electing to come around that center guard, and Team Wiebe is going to go through the double corners here. They're going to throw them in the opposite sides here and really work hard to generate a deuce this end.
Well, like you were implying at the end of the 5th end, Mark, it's go time. It's the 6th end. It's the all-important 6th end. You got 3 left. This is the time to make the rhythm. If you have hammer in 6, you're likely going to have hammer one more time during some other time in the last 2 ends. So ideally, you want that to be the 6th and the 8th. Got to make your hay right here, force them in the 7th, and then score your points in the 8th to win the game. That's the strategy here. And to do that, they're going to need to go all out. Team Bottcher knows that, and that's why they put their 2 stones in the house, knowing that Team Wiebe was not going to make a play on them.
Yeah. And it looks like they are just going here to try to cut off the corner, which to me, and again, I don't watch a ton of competitive curling, but it seems to be kind of a new wrinkle where teams without hammer are electing to kind of cut off these corners here by putting something in the rings kind of on that path.
Absolutely, Mark. I've noticed that the last few years myself, and that's become standard. It's a tactical trend that kind of started with a few teams. Then, we see in all sports, those tactical trends are exposed through broadcasting and through all of us watching them for a while, and then we start to realize, hey, that works pretty good. And before you know it, everybody's making that tactical call.
Oh yeah, it's like the spinner but less fancy.
You two last night got Spinner City. Was it 2 spinners?
Two spinners, yeah.
2 spinners, 1 game. And the one almost worked.
It did. I thought it was decently close,
I thought he had a much better chance of reaching his objective just by throwing a normal curling shot.
That would have probably... I would be the type to throw a spinner shot just for fun, but I would definitely just throw a regular shot there. This one's a little tight to the guard here.
It does get a little lucky chip. Let's see what happens here.
Well, roll to the side.
Sorry, wrong camera, folks. It's been a rusty game for me. I'll admit, not my best game on the cam work. Let's see if we can nail the last few ends. I'll start by turning last rock off.
So a little unlucky there. Well, maybe it was kind of tight. Does make contact instead of getting the roll and going the corner. It just kind of goes all the way out. So, Bottcher sitting 2 in the rings. Team Wiebe with nothing in the rings, and Bottcher just happy to sit the broom down and start peeling these corners here.
Yep, still got 1 corner to use, which they will. That's why you throw 2 of them.
Oh.
One's going away. Ideally, you'd want something in the rings at this point. Just 1 mistake in, but... This will be the last shot. Second rock thrower, Sean Flat. Where's that? Yes, I think it is.
Sean Flat? Yeah. Yep. This one's maybe a hair heavy. Sweepers don't seem to be too interested in it, but they're okay if this ends up back 8, back 12 here.
Yeah, I mean, they'll accept it. It's a rock in the rings behind cover. Can't be too picky at this point.
Yeah. And we'll see if that'll tempt Brendan to chase it or to just peel the corner.
Brendan finding more value in the rock in the rings. Interested in that? I thought we'd see a peel for sure, but that's just more learning that we can all do by watching these teams. I wonder what he's up to with this. They must think that addressing the rock in the rings is the right play for now, even though you think this gives Team Wiebe just an extra chance to replace that draw closer to where they wanted it to be in the first place.
Exactly. Got lefty Mark Kennedy here. Playing his, I guess, out turn. This one is getting close to the corner guard as well.
That's a fine result. Would have loved to remove the corner guard, but yeah, they played softer weight as well, didn't they?
They did. Still ends up rolling out, so Team Wiebe's got some decisions here. I guess technically they have a corner guard there. That's the cornerest of guards, which is could be, if they could sink one in here, it'd be sneaky good because they do have the one that's that back yellow that's kind of in that 4 o'clock position. That's a potential jam. Pretty important shot here for the team as we're getting later in this game, so team will kind of huddle up and have a little discussion. So while they're discussing this, again, thank you guys. Everyone is joining us on the Curling Zone YouTube, watching this game here.
Absolutely. 317. Chime in on the chat, guys. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Big moments in the game. We love to read the chat and see what people think about the shots, or if we're guessing on what the call was or a miss or make. This is YouTube, guys. This is why we stream it online. So participate. This is kind of by the fans for the fans. Me and Mark, we're not experts. We're just having fun watching the game like you.
Yep.
We like to leave
if you guys have any corrections on pronunciations, please let me know. So here, I curl out of the States, and I see some of these guys on YouTube and TV, but for some of these other teams, I'm not as familiar with them. But the curling zone and curling stadiums, bringing this to me, so I can see some of the teams I normally wouldn't get to see on tour. Which is really, really cool for to be able to watch all of this.
Yeah, and don't keep it a secret either, people. Tell all your friends and family that you're spending your weekend watching curling online for free. It's that's how we're going to grow this thing. Is more people finding out. In fact, when I tell people for the first time that we stream all these games for free online all weekend long, they can't believe it. And it's tough to find another sport in the world where that's just readily available for you like that. So I think we can create more fans through just this streaming culture alone. The chat entries on your game last night, Mark, from our Japanese friends. I bet you had 800 chat entries.
That was pretty neat, yeah. All right, so we with a shot on the center line on top of it. Brendan's just gonna have to get rid of some of the backing here. So we're just blasting everything here and trying to catch that red one on the way out.
We're gonna find out.
Big wait for Vice Mark Kennedy. This one, did he flip it outside just a hair?
I think it was just a straight rip.
Oh, straight rip. Okay.
Apologies, people. The camera did not switch. My bad.
Now, yep, it's just hit and kind of flop over. Dead frozen's ideal. Really delicate shot here because if you don't make this perfect, Brendan's going to be close to be able to pick it out clean. They're just that good at this level. This quiet wait. This one's got a curl if they want to get to the inside. It does make that move and hits and rolls.
Beautiful.
That's a wonderful shot.
That's really the only place you could put that where you're actually have a chance at keeping it in the rings. I'm still convinced that with today's ice conditions and rock conditions and everything, there's no such thing as an open freeze. There's a way to remove a rock no matter what, but that is almost as good as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit on the inside spills it out.
A little bit, but
those rocks are just so bouncy. Could just leave it. That's what Mark's pointing out. Or sorry, that's Brendan on the outside there. Yeah, Brendan's saying, we could just remove this. They'll still have to make a play on the frozen one.
Yeah, just hitting and rolling off this back red one.
Yeah, just removing the Wiebe stone.
Yeah.
The open one. As long as you don't leave a double.
Let's see what they settle up on here. Are they just straight drawing? No. I don't know. I don't know what's the call here. Looks like we do have a final in the Stu Cells. Team Mallet winning over Team Ross White.
Oh, I'm sure those two love to travel all the way to Canada to play each other 30
Just
times
to
a year.
play each other, yeah.
Seems to happen a lot.
They're good curlers for sure.
I thought that was just a trick we played on American teams to
Set the bracket that way.
yeah, to tick them off. Now we're
Yeah.
doing it to the Scottish too. Oh goodness. That is rolling really far inside. You don't want to set up a double. Oh, I think they have.
Let's set up a double.
Could be the worst place to possibly roll.
Yeah, because you can roll the shooter out to the.
You could roll the shooter almost
out to the wings, yeah.
almost
That's
anywhere you
separate.
want. I guess you can't hit it on that corner guard side because it might drag the Bottcher stone and not make the double. So you do have to hit it in a way that's going to still send that yellow stone straight back.
Yeah.
I think if you hit 3/4 of the red on the Wiebe's broom side, you're making the double, you're rolling off. Really letting Wiebe back in the game with that roll. I'm not sure what the plan was with that.
And you're just thinking a few shots ago, no good corners in play, and Bottcher with a bunch of rocks in the ring, and Wiebe's got a chance to set himself up for a deuce. Still 3 rocks to go, of course, but you gotta like the situation here. Oh, are they talking about just freeze tap?
I mean, you don't really want to blank this end, so I wouldn't play with the idea of letting Bottcher blow everything up.
Yeah.
If you have a 2, I think, you got to take your best shot at getting that 2. But to roll your rock very specifically, so you're going to leave it totally flat and not leave a double is challenging anyway.
Yes, yeah.
So maybe it's, if it's tough either way, why not set something up where we might even have a shot at 3?
So if that's the call, you're gonna have to put this where you're putting this like top 8.
You could just tap things, like try to nose tap your own red.
Just nose tap. First, skips rocks here for Team Wiebe. On it early. Sean going hard here. They're just gonna have to do a lot of work to get this to tap here.
Yeah, it seems light, doesn't it? And unless it was your call and they're going top of the rings, but they seem to be gunning this pretty good.
Yeah.
Just over curls as well. Not the better side to leave that attempt. I mean, do all 4 rocks go if he knows that red?
Yeah, possibly. I guess. I mean, if you're Team Bottcher, do you have to play that? Can you just freeze on the one that's top 4? I mean, that's
just so
scary,
risky
right?
Because right now, if you don't throw as Team Bottcher, there is a shot for 3. Right? Like if you're Wiebe and you're just shooting again, let's say the other guy doesn't throw it, and you're just shooting again, there is a shot for 3. So Bottcher's got to change something. You could throw a center guard, absolutely, and then that becomes a run back like quad for 2. Makes it pretty tough.
Yeah, and I was just thinking if you just wrap it and go top 4, and it looks like they're playing some sort of draw here. Question
Thing is, if you go top 4 on yours as Bottcher, like there might be a triple. Like those 2 rocks on the button, that like the yellow's going straight back and doubling off the other yellow, unless you hit it pretty hard on that right hand side as we see it from the overhead. So that's the concern.
I think he
just an odd situation that
flipped his broom up, so I think this is going to be some sort of guard outside of the rings here. We'll see.
Seems like it. It's going to make that shot really hard. There's an in-turn run back and an out-turn tap that we will have available.
Yeah, it's hard.
Which one? Yeah.
Guard both here. Going to try to make it curl a little bit, seeing if we can. It's pretty good, although I think that's there for.
You'd have to throw enough weight to move all those stones. I think that guard has taken away the opportunity to throw enough weight to move everything.
Yeah,
might be there for 2 at this point, just to slash it in. You'll probably lose your shooter. Just go bang bang on the top 2 reds and watch those 2 yellows leave the rings. Hopefully, either your shooter or the top red sticks around. It might even be for 1.
Yeah, if the one on the top 8 kind of spins away here.
Could also run the yellow in. That's only for 2, but you're moving 5 rocks. Very difficult. They'll give it a crack here. Whatever is on the in-turn side, they're gonna throw it and see what happens. I like it.
Yeah. Final shot here. Ryan Wiebe. Move some stuff around, see if we can get a deuce here. Not a ton of weight. Early out of hand here. Switching over to the curl side now. Back just to get away from
just off the guard. Makes it.
Wow, there it is for 3. What a shot.
Breathtaking. Played it as tight to the guard as possible. Just enough weight to make those rocks move out of the rings, but just little enough weight to keep the shooter around. That is precision. What a rip, Ryan Wiebe.
Here's another look at that beautiful rock from Kyle.
Do you ever miss your parlays by just 1?
This is where the focus comes into play. Look at that.
Canada, say hello to your new champions.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
The roaring game. We all love it, but sometimes curling just isn't as fun as it can be on the Nintendo Switch. Don't get stuck in your curling club this year. Learn the game inside and out. Play for your favorite country and take the curling world by storm. With up to 4 players per console, you can enjoy curling with your friends and family anywhere, anytime. Let's play curling. Available now only on Nintendo Switch.
Welcome back. The crowd is buzzing. And by the crowd, I mean Mark and I are buzzing from that incredible run back, double, and roll to stick. I don't even know how to describe it. Go back in the YouTube stream and watch that beauty. Ryan Wiebe takes the lead in the 7th end.
Yeah, heck of a shot. And if you're just joined us from the Mowat White game, you got to see one of the best shots of the game so far to give Ryan Wiebe a lead here after Bottcher took the first deuce of the game in the 5th end here.
Pretty fantastic. It all started with that Bottcher roll, and they just seemed to have a lot of tolerance for where that was rolling. Like the call was, they kept tapping, Kennedy and Bottcher kept tapping the back of the rings behind the frozen situation. And I thought the whole purpose of the call was to ignore the center line situation, force Team Wiebe to address that. Instead, they roll behind, set up a kind of frozen run back double. And it was kind of game on from there. Team Wiebe smelled blood in the water and really went for it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's our on-ice audio kicking back in.
Yeah, definitely an interesting end for this team. That they had earlier, they just kind of just
Sorry, a little distracted camera work there. I was trying to manage our on-ice audio just kicked back in, which is a lovely little surprise.
Nice little surprise, yeah. Considering the technical difficulties we had a little bit earlier today, just stuff is coming up well. We got curling and we got a bunch of people hanging out in the studio, so good times.
This is our first of many streaming events from the Saville Center. What a big signing the Saville Center was to the Curling Stadium Live family. We can't wait to bring more fine Edmonton curling. Perhaps one of I don't know if I can put it above Winnipeg, but Edmonton, one of the greatest curling communities in Canada. So just producing champion after champion, lots of high quality competition, great facilities. Alberta in general, curling very strong. And that's coming from a Saskatchewan night. So let's take a moment to appreciate that. But yeah, can't wait for more competition out of the Saville Center this year. Quick little shout out, U of A Golden Bears, U of A Pandas. My sister Shay McCusker, 5th year senior at the U of A basketball, reigning Canada West champions, I might add.
Nice.
Yeah, good facility. She teaches youth curling in the off season. So friend of the Saville Center, Shay McCusker.
Some interesting angles being set up here. Kind of play is being kind of relegated off to this intern side, but there's always going to be something on this outturn side at the end here. This one seems to be curling quite a bit. I think they wanted to
just barely gets by.
Yeah.
Whaps the yellow, collides with the red, rolls to semi-buried positioning. Yeah, things just changed for Team Bottcher. This was a kind of prevent defense that all of a sudden switches to hurry up offense.
Yeah, they've got 2 rocks in the ring. They've got something on the kind of corners that they can run back here. So have something cooking here, but we'll see how Team Wiebe addresses this one, kind of in that top 8-foot area.
Yeah, good opportunity to get layers down the center line, get inside positioning on this Bottcher stone, not leave a double on your 2 reds. I mean, pretty good opportunity here with shot rock in the 4-foot for Team Wiebe.
This one's got to curl a bit. Hard to see with shot in front of us here, but this is coming in here now.
Yeah, he's a trailer. He's a rock trailer. That's darn near perfect. I think it overcurled just a little bit.
Good.
Would have loved to just keep that positioning on top of the yellow stone. Just opened it up a touch. Bottcher can tap that. Bottcher can get rid of the red without losing his yellow. But that center guard's going to make all of that pretty difficult. So, yeah, Bottcher's looking at that center guard now, sees that now is the time for it to fly.
We'll ask second Brett Ginlant to make this double peel or peel run, however you want to kind of call it. It's going to get a lot of nose here. Does make contact on the other Yellowstone.
That was the ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I think ideally they wanted the contact to be on the nose and send it back, drive it back, see if they couldn't get lucky with getting rid of another one in the rings. But I think getting rid of both of those obstacles for the team with hammer, pretty good thing.
They did roll it to a corner. Don't know if it'll come into play, but
yeah, a little bonus there for sure.
A little bonus, yeah, for sure. So now, your team, Ryan Wiebe, what's you don't want to really, move a ton of stuff around and, give them a free blank here, but
control weight, I think the call was. Third rock thrower tied yellow's first stone.
Hard and sweep early for Sean. And is gonna make contact.
Really leaning into that sweep, huh?
Yeah.
Leaves a bit of a pocket. Not the call. Not the ideal situation. However, still a lot to deal with. I don't know. I don't think there's a triple there.
No. I mean, I kind of wonder if there's that kind of if you play maybe this left-hand side here and hit and roll towards the corner, and if you hit it just right, can you ever, move that Yellowstone towards the corner as well? Almost kind of like that. Almost like that Ryan Fry. What was that?
Oh yes.
Pick? You know what I'm saying? Where both of them roll, but instead not rolling towards the center, but rolling to the corners.
Yeah. Yep, I have seen it.
But electing to play this a little bit more straight up. First rock for Vice Mark Kennedy here. Just trying to get to the inside here. Sweeper's just managing it. Nothing too hard. Going a little bit more towards the end here. Does get around the one on the top of the 8-foot and makes contact. Squirts the other one where it's back button now.
That's another kind of angle decision that I'm not so sure about, because that's basically what Brennan tapped his broom to indicate.
It's an interesting situation here. I mean, I think if you're team Wiebe, gotta like this, right? The angles aren't great for team Bottcher, although they have sitting 2-3 here, so that's a little scary, but I don't know. I'm almost tempted to leave the situation here, right?
Yeah, I think you got to take what it's giving you. What's given right now is you saw Ryan's arms just extend to either side, but bam. 2 Bottcher stones out with one shot is too tempting to pass up.
It's exactly. It's too tempting, but you kind of like the situation, right?
Agreed. There's no way at your rock in the back of the button right now, but there's 3 rocks to come. If this is the last shot of the end, maybe you'd be tempted to throw a guard. No, there'd be a way to tap one of those yellows back. I think you have to do this, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
The talk may have been more about exactly where they want the shooter to roll and little details like that.
Yeah, very important to keep. You imagine Team Bottcher will take on some sort of double here with the result here, so you don't want to leave a triple basically, and just making sure we're on the same page. This one is going to be pretty close to spot on. Yep.
Oh, could have kept a nice little overlap, but it's tough to tell exactly how those rocks are going to spin when you hit them.
Yeah.
Ooh, Brennan sees a way to get 3.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Is there ever an argument for just trying to maybe wrap around and freeze tap the one on the back button there and force Wiebe to make some sort of kind of run attempt for you?
Yeah, it depends how bad you want to score 2 right now. If you see an opportunity to clear the house with one corner guard, you got to take that because it keeps the blank alive.
Yeah.
To carry Hammer into the last end would be fantastic. It'd be a great result for Team Bottcher.
Yeah. I think this is kind of what that danger was for that shot to, take out the 2 Bottcher stones, but then you leave yourself a triple and give him an opportunity to blank here. And not a gimme, but we expect Mark to be pretty close on this.
That could have been. I wonder if they're going for the triple or whether they just took on the straight double.
Yeah, I mean it's probably one of those shots that calls the double, triples the bonus here, and
it just seems like the initiative keeps on being pushed to Team Wiebe. Like there's been multiple opportunities for Team Bottcher to kind of make that big play.
Yep.
They choose a safer option, but then the roll or the result just isn't exactly perfect, and it ends up being the kind of 3-shot trade goes to Team Wiebe. I mean, it's tough to roll the rock exactly perfect, but if you roll this thing 5 feet to the left and take away that corner guard draw, and at the same time leave your 2 rocks in the house parallel, like, is that not a really good force situation for Team Wiebe?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how hard they even worked to create it. Team Bottcher keeps putting rocks in places that make the call obvious for Team Wiebe. Kind of gifted them that run back double, that frozen run back double earlier in the end, and at the end of last end, we saw that roll that created that double out of nowhere for Team Wiebe, allowed them to score 3. Seems like the kind of risk adverse strategy.
This
one, I think we got a pretty significant miss here.
Yeah.
Hit it totally on the wrong side of nose. That's going to leave a double for sure.
Double, yeah. It's
interesting.
It's flat-ish, but they're pretty tight, so you can imagine you can make it.
Totally kind of lucky though, really, to get that result. He missed by about half a foot on that one.
Yeah. Now, they're playing this one off the one in the top 8 first, rather than the outside one. The outside one looks a hair higher. Yeah, the overhead cam shows the one in the top 12 to be just a hair higher, but
it does. I'm wondering about that myself.
Not that I would question Brendan or Mark here, but like I said, they're close enough where
they're close enough where they're thinking, yeah, they can go either way. They're just taking the one they prefer. They'd prefer this rock to end up on the outside of the rings. It's blank. It's a blank end is the ideal result at this point.
What is that?
What's going on here? 2 skip misses back to back, pretty bad ones too.
Yeah,
that's those both of those shots missed by about half a foot. The thrower throwing it on the wrong side of nose both times, and really the reward for each was quite high, and yeah, squandered twice in a row there. An odd turn of events here in the 7th.
All right, so.
We're speechless. The commentary is speechless.
It is. And well, I'm actually kind of curious about this broom too. So it looks like just ice for, draw the button here. I think you can afford to take less ice and put a little bit more distance here. Or...
Yeah, I'm confused by that as well. You'd think the idea here would be just big separation.
Yeah, you don't want to give him another shot at the double, because I think he'll be happy to take the shot at the double. Even giving up one and keeping Hammer in the 8th, but we'll see where this ends up and see if that's even an option for Team Bottcher. If this goes a hair deeper,
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Saved
good.
it.
Depth.
No
Great
double
depth.
available.
But if that's a foot deeper, I think
Yeah,
Brendan
for
may
sure.
take a crack at it.
Yeah, the tolerance was less by throwing it down the center line path. Now, the reason they could be doing that is that's the path they know. That's the path they want to practice for later. It's there's a lot of advantages to throwing down that traditional kind of button draw path. Just want to take a second to welcome our exploding amount of viewers. Certain games must have ended elsewhere, but we welcome you to Edmonton. Team Ryan Wiebe, Team Brendan Bottcher. Every end has been slightly different this game. I'm joined by Mark Nyo, and we're having a good time here Saturday afternoon.
It's a good game.
Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon.
We've got a chance to watch, and for me personally, right? Like, being in the States and don't get a chance to watch a lot of live curling, and we've got a team that's just outside the top 20 taking on, well-known household name team Bottcher, and they've got an interesting decision here. I think they're just talking about, do you give up the steal here or take your force to? Is this? I mean, that's got to be what they're discussing, right?
Yeah, you'd think so.
And they're gonna give up the steal here by this broom here. Just hit the open one, and
it looks like it.
Do you like that call? You like that call, Rory?
I have no idea.
Preference.
I'm wildly interested in this decision making. I want to learn. I want to know what they know.
Oh, well, I'm sure maybe they've got some access to some of Jerry's data. It tells you the stats on tied without or down 2 with.
Yeah, well, the good news is everybody has access to that kind of data. You just go to curlingzone.com/analytics. Rips the one, gives up the steal. Very interesting turn of events here. 7th end. Ryan Wiebe scores 3 and then forces a steal. Are we going to call that a steal force? Let's call it a steal force.
Steal force. I like it.
6-4, 8th end. Bottcher will have hammer when we return.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns, greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Imagine being able to stream every...
Stronger agronomics. Better returns.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Here we go. It's Benny Heeb's second stone, 8th end. Ryan Wiebe, Brennan Bottcher.
Yeah, heck of a game. Thanks to everyone who's joined us from maybe some of the other streams. You know we had Stu Cells kind of wrap up recently with Team Out winning, and I think the Ham Morrison game ended on the women's side. But we've got a good game here between Wiebe and Bottcher. It was pretty tight in the first half of the game. Teams exchanging forces. Then, Bottcher gets the first deuce. Wiebe makes an incredible double to score 3.
Yeah.
And Bottcher was a steal force in the 7th end. That kind of brings us to the 8th end here, where Bottcher is down 2 with hammer, making that decision for themselves.
Not even sure what to call the Wiebe shot for 3. 4 rocks were involved, plus the shooter being 5. So, I mean,
Yeah.
2 Yellowstones leave the rings. He has to run one of his own. You can just go back and watch it. That's the beauty of the YouTube stream. But some kind of imprecise rolls and leaves from Team Bottcher, giving Team Wiebe these opportunities that they, of course, are capitalizing on. But Team Bottcher making some decisions in the 6th and 7th end, kind of risk-adverse decisions, trying to keep things just under control, choosing to make the more direct and simple shot, but just rolling to the wrong spot, leaving some opportunities for Team Wiebe that wouldn't have even really been there before had they not given them. So some odd sort of back and forths here this game, especially in the second half.
Yeah. And then in this end, we're seeing a little bit different of a setup here. Not sure how that rock ended up that kind of that back 4 stone there. I don't know if that's some old school Donnie B3 action, or if it was just tapped there somehow. This one settles in just nicely.
Perfect.
Corner frozen on the 1 top 4.
If it was a Donnie B3 action, that's exactly how you want it set up. Angles are looking really good for Team Bottcher right now, with those centerline guards easily peelable, not very run backable, but easily get rid ofable. They've got their corner guard. They've got 2 rocks in the rings, undercover. I think this is a pretty good start for Team Bottcher in their quest to score 3, win the game here.
Not a lot of history between these two teams. I think they've only played once, with Bottcher winning that matchup here, but definitely played well by Team Wiebe here this game. A little bit of a miss there. I think they were trying to come in top 8 or so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's light. I mean, it's still Team Bottcher with the work to do in the rings, so not the end of the world. It will be Bottcher that has to make something happen down that line. Takes away the intern path. Not a disastrous mistake, but
no,
not what they're after. Brett Glantz, second stone, potentially last stone of the game.
Looking to essentially just duplicate what he did on his previous stone, right? Just kind of get to the corner there. I'm gonna have to work to get it around this guard here.
So I've seen this all week, Mark. The ice does get slower in the 7th and especially 8th end. It surprises sweepers. It surprises throwers. It curls just as much, but it digs a little earlier. I've seen a lot of draws miss light in the 8th end so far this weekend.
Lot of rocks in play here. So angles have
all of
changed
them.
on the center
Yes.
guards here, but
Yes, they have, Mark. Yes, they have. All 3 of those paths, the outturn path, the centerline path, the intern path, those are promotable stones. Options for both teams.
oh, what do you throw here? I mean, I think they're tempted to maybe unlock that yellow red then to top 4, but maybe a bit early to do that.
Yeah, it'd be part of the discussion, most definitely.
Front end cleaning up the center line here, so imagine we'll see something coming up and down this line here. I think so. Is the goal just to spill both of them out here and leave the second red in the rings of the top two center guards?
Yeah, I'm confused why Wiebe is the one taking a crack at this.
Yeah, I
thought
might
they'd leave this for Bottcher. They must not see any other real value. I mean, there's the intern draw, but this is looking more like tap weight.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Looks close to nose.
Yeah.
1, 2. Back, gains the positioning.
That's pretty good.
What a brave call.
Yeah.
That is pretty good for now. I mean, the red is exposed to run back. You could rip quite a few things back and try to get rid of that red on the button, but there's a jamstone at the back of the 4-foot, and even if things blow up, now Team Wiebe has positioning in the top of the 8-foot. Lots of rocks to come yet this end. I expect things to look very different by the time we're done.
Yeah, you have to figure Team Bottcher is going to throw something with weight, but what are we moving here? I think. Oh, this is interesting. I almost feel like you need to do something with the center just to open it up and give yourself some more options later here, but this one here just on the left-hand side of your screen from the shooter's perspective is the easier one to work with.
Run back attempt number 1 from Mark Kennedy. We'll see how many there ends up being. All right.
Does end up peeling 2 rocks effectively, giving them shooter sticks around, so they've got something else that they can run back later. So right now we've got 3 rocks for Team Bottcher that you can kind of run in somewhere.
Yeah, it's edge to edge though. I mean, how tight to the red guard would they have to be to run that back? Lots of rocks yet to come, but not a clear path into the scoring area quite yet.
Gosh, if you're Team Wiebe, what's the call here?
I think you got to suck another one around. Just draw
wrap
top
it
8,
around.
top 12. Yeah,
Top
create
8.
more overlaps and obstacles. That would be my play. That rock on the button, I think that's as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
You could come right in, try to tap it a little bit, go kind of nose, like freeze your own.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but although with the 2-point lead here, right, I think, just getting some separation so something sticks around, you don't want to give Brendan an easy double to score 2 or more here, I guess.
Yeah, very fair.
So we've seen some shots over curl here. Sweepers are off this, but I think we're heavy. Oh, well, maybe this was just the call here. I think I would have liked it in the rings here.
You can see the sweeper's body language. They're right backing off of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much good that did. I mean, it determined the angle that red on the center line is going to go. You may have taken away some type of promotion there.
Yeah.
Still looking pretty steep for Team Bottcher.
I don't know. I would have liked that in the rings here.
Yeah. Or the high guard. That's what they were playing.
Yeah. Brendan Bottcher and his trademark squat there. Just double checking some of the angles here. Scooting the broom out just a hair. Oh, some clarification wrapping around. Yeah, and see, I think if we've had just kind of drawn something at top 8, top 12, the shot wouldn't be there. Because I had the feeling this was going to be what Bottcher was going to try to get something in there. Last rock for Vice Mark Kennedy. Looking to just kind of wrap it around here. Top 8, maybe top 4. This one is sailing a bit here. It's got a curl too. Really trying to push it over here.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is gonna end up being sneaky okay.
Yeah, it came deep. It's a catcher for. I mean, it could end up being useful. It's something in the forefoot.
Yeah.
Kind of raises the stakes if you ever find a way to get rid of that red rock on the button. Even if you lose the one that Mark just threw, you count your 2 yellows in the side of the forefoot. It's still kind of scary for Team Wiebe.
Yeah. Fortunately for them, the shots that they would run back are going to be on the other side. So it does kind of set up some jams, but like we saw in some other ends, a lot of rocks in play. Always fun seeing rocks in play here. And Team Bottcher playing a little bit of a dangerous game this end, you know. But you kind of have to go all out here, of course. So definitely entertaining for me to watch all the things and angles to see. So for this, do we want this in the rings here, or are we just happy with like a 2 guard blocking the draw path here?
I think overlapped in the top 12 is absolutely perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
you're taking away both doing that. The higher the guard, the less in the draw path you really are.
Yeah, true. First, the skips rocks here. This one is out there a ways, but should finish pretty nicely here.
Yeah, it's a good throw for the outside paths that haven't been played all game.
Yeah.
Totally fine. All right, one chance to clear out a bunch of stuff. Give yourself a shot for your next one. You could, now there is right now a run back to get rid of a red on red run back to get rid of the Wiebe stone on the top of the button.
That's what I was thinking. Are you talking about the one they just threw?
Yeah. And that'd be the advantage of overlapping a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the cleanest one you have here. Some discussion here. I think yeah. Well, you have to make a set something to make a play at this here, and I think it's that's your best bet is to do something on that side. There's no, there's no. Yeah, the overlap on the centers makes it hard to get to that That yellow, that's just off the center line there.
Definitely. I don't even know. I mean, your second, third, and fourth. That's got to be the most tempting part of this entire scenario.
Mhm.
Those two in the top of the 8 are kind of locked off. I don't know if that's really going to do anything for you anyway. If it's me, I think I take a stab at ripping that Wiebe stone on the button right now.
Yeah.
I know it's a red on red run back, and that's scary, but together though.
They can try to hit it and squirt it into the rings. I don't know
Yeah.
what that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's there, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you have to do something on this side. You know, they're just gonna make another. Otherwise, you just wraps another one around there.
You could try to open up the outturn, run back the Yellowstone on the outturn side, and just clear off those 2 overlap points in the top 8. You lose all 3. You open up something on the outturn. With that stone of Mark Kennedy as a catcher, I guess you can't remove it from the outturn side. Looking pretty bleak for Team Bottcher.
We'll see if there's enough room there. It looks like they are just going to try that. Maybe squirt through. First rock for Brendan Bottcher here. And heaves on it early.
2 squirts. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, really unfortunate overlap. I mean, they were
Good
right
late
to call it.
Brushing from Mark, because I think, yeah, I mean, moved it just enough towards the center line where you can see some of it if you want to try to pick it here. Yeah, sure. I think we just picked up the on ice audio. It's been kind of coming in and out most of the day today. Ryan, their team's just looking at all the angles here. I think you have to play something on this this intern side.
Oh, for sure you do. It's as of right now, there's a straight pick.
Yeah. So
I think you just got you throw a guard anywhere on that intern side, and you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that yellow rock that was kind of spun into the rings of Team Bottcher.
Mm-hmm.
Is it overlapped enough on that other one in the top 8 that you can't run it back anymore? I think so. Like that top yellow touching the center line.
Yeah.
Would you be able to run that back and make contact with the red? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but can you?
How do you get there is the thing.
How do you get there, and can you move it that far?
I think maybe on that outturn side, a yellow run back. So you cannot take away both. I think you have to take away the intern pick shot. That's the easier shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just, if you can wrap it behind that yellow top 8, right? Is that?
Yeah, no, you might want to.
Dangerous?
Yeah, you'd set up a double. Perhaps just an overlapped guard, biting top 12 or something. Oh,
what is?
Are
they gonna try to pick out the
double?
back 2?
Yeah, back 2 double. Put the game in your own hands. Know that if you make this double, it's going to be almost impossible to score 3.
Yeah.
Basically, give Bottcher a shot at 2. Take hammer into the extra end. Might be kind of smart. But you have to make the double.
My team would not let me throw this shot. This team
looks pretty good. They're trying to make it curl. 1 and 2.
Yep.
Shreds them. Well, an interesting call. A a call that takes into account extra ends.
Yep.
Right, Team Wiebe would go into extra ends with hammer.
With hammer. Yeah, this is just a kind of back line here.
Yeah, you're trying to count your shooter, so.
Yeah, back 8, back 12. Well, no, you gotta move it at a little bit of an angle here.
Yeah, you got to move it, and less than half the momentum's going to go into the rock, so you got to throw more than back. I'd say back line or more.
Back line, yeah. Yeah, no, there's definitely, I saw that double off the back ones, but, I was thinking my team would definitely never let me call that in a spiel. Because that does not pass the test of what's the worst that could happen here.
Brendan Bottcher with his final stone. Big shot. Get 2 and force an extra end.
Benny on it early. Backing off a little bit. Weight seems pretty close. Now it's got a curl just to make sure we're getting thick enough.
Well managed, Team Bottcher. Will they move it far enough? Oh,
they don't.
That seemed to slam on the brakes, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Just hit it a little thin. So I think final result. I think Wiebe got the point, but they do get the win.
It is a win for Ryan Wiebe. What a fight. Stuck with it. Took advantage of the opportunities that Team Bottcher gave them. That'll be a 7-4 final. Bottcher given their first loss of the tournament. They'll finish 5-1. Ryan Wiebe 4-1. Or sorry, 4-1. Both teams 4-1.
Yeah, both teams 4-1, yeah.
Great math there, Rory. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We got more curling all weekend long. This tournament spills over into Monday. So book those days off work, people. We got a lot left to go. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye, Rod.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Here's another look at that beautiful rock from Kyla. Setting things up really nicely. They're close to the win with that one. Now in the last end of the game, Team Clybrink has a draw to the button for the win.
What are you doing?
Hold on, the guys that didn't play, I just made a call. They made me way more cash than you guys ever will. If you want to destroy the sports books, come join the #1 sports investing community on the planet at inplaylive.com.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media.